So, once upon a time, there was a family that moved from America to Turkey. And some events happened that we just didn't understand that were super mystery. So I just want to tell you guys about it. So, last week, I was awakened by, no, I wasn't even awakened. Okay, maybe I was, but I didn't know I was awakened. So I was asleep, knocked out for the count, and I thought I was dreaming. And in my dream, I was hearing drums. Boom, 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 boom. Just drums, right? So then I got up because I guess I was done with that dream. And when I got up, I went to the bathroom. So my oldest heard me and he was like, Mom. And I was like, yeah. And he said, did you hear those drums? And I was like, what? There were drums? And he said, yeah. And I was like, I'm glad you let me know because I thought I was dreaming. So we hear these drums. Mind you guys, it's about 3:30 a.m. Okay? It's not 8 p.m. It's not 9 p.m. It's not even 6 a.m. It's like 3:30 mid-morning when you're like in the deep sleep. So I hear these drums. He hears these drums. And we're like, what was that? Titus was like, and I thought the trumpets were about to sound. I go back to bed and that was it. So the next morning, like later on that morning, like 9 a.m., I asked Isaac, I'm like, honey, have you ever heard drums in the middle of the night? And he was like, I've been meaning to ask you if you heard those drums. I hadn't ever been woken up by them, but Isaac has been woken up by them. And so at this point, I'm like, what is really going on in the middle of the night? Who is just coming through the neighborhood at 3:30 in the morning playing drums? Like, it just didn't make any sense. So that was that. It's a mystery. So we're like, what is going on and why do they come down our street? We're thinking that somebody is coming for us or whatever. You get all kinds of different thoughts go through your head because you're like, okay, my oldest heard it, my husband heard it, I heard it, what is going on? So skip to this week. It was this week we're out having a super busy day, and about 6 p.m. somebody comes knocking at our door. Now this is interesting because nobody can knock at your door or ring your doorbell unless they're buzzed in from the outside. So we're like, who's at the door? Usually like you get a buzz and you have to, it's a different ring. I'll say it last. It's a different ring from the buzz outside to the doorbell. So we get this buzz and Isaac opens the door. And when he opens the door, it's this dude standing at our door with this big old drum. You guys, first I thought I was dreaming. Then we hear these drums. Isaac hears the drums. Titus hears these drums. Then this man is at our door with drums. He's about 25 years old. He might have been younger. I'm not sure. So he's talking to us in Turkish. We're talking to Isaac in Turkish. And Isaac's not understanding him. But we have stuff to do. Like, we got to get on the road. We got to go handle some business. So we didn't take the time to do translation. So we're like, why is this man at 6 p.m. at our house with these drums? So, rewind a little bit. A couple of nights before, Isaac was just like, babe, if I hear the drums again, before you do, he was like, do you want me to wake you up? He was like, I was like, yes, wake me up so we can figure this out. So sure enough, we heard the drums again, and we like hop out of the bed. Isaac's like, babe, you hear it. So we hop out of the bed, and when we hop out of the bed, Isaac sees a white Tofaş. Now, that was it. I didn't see anything because I guess I was still dazed because I couldn't figure out what was going on being woke up. And he saw the white Tofaş and he was like, that's what's been, we were sitting here like, that's what's been making all this noise? You gotta be kidding me. A white Tofaş? Now you guys, a white Tofaş, I want you to look it up. It's like the old school car of Turkey. It's they made them in the 70s and 80s and now they switched it up and they call them a Fiat now though, right? Oh. Yeah, so now they call them a Fiat. So we that was that. Then we continued to hear this noise. So there's trash bins outside. We thought it was trash bins. They might have been going to get trash bins. There's, you know, people that collect the plastic and the, what do you call it, the cardboard, yeah, anything that you can recycle. We thinking that that's what it was, but that's not what it was. It was this Tofaş. So then this man comes to our door. He's about 25 years old, and there he has this big old drum. Boom. Same day that he comes to the door, that night we hear it again. So at this point, I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning this time because I was so hot, excuse me, and Isaac happened to be awake too. So it's 3:27 a.m. Isaac heard it in the distance, and so he got ready. He was already ready, knew it was gonna come down our street. In the living room, there's another street, so I couldn't see it. But Isaac goes And he goes to the window, you guys, and when he looks out the window this time, it's the same white Tofaş. But guess what he sees? Because he's fully awake and he can see it clearly. The trunk was open of the Tofaş, and that same guy that came to our door, he was in the trunk beating on that drum. That was the mystery. So it's so interesting because that's a tradition for Ramadan. And it's crazy because I said to Isaac, I wonder if it has anything to do with Ramadan, because we had never heard any drums before. But as soon as Ramadan started, like when you start really thinking about stuff, as soon as Ramadan started, that's when we started hearing the drums. And so it's an old tradition that people, they come, it's like a wake-up call. It's like they're sounding an alarm, and they start beating on the drums to wake people up so that they can eat before they go through their day, because during the day they can't eat anything. So this is our American story, because we were completely ignorant. We were trying to find out this mystery, but it's just an age-old tradition that happens when you live in a secular Muslim country. Yeah. So it's just like, wow, is that what it was? So if you guys ever hear drums and there's Ramadan in the season, it's a tradition that's happening to wake people up so they can get up and eat. But I just had to tell you guys that story because we were like, what in the world is going on, and why are people beating on drums at 3:30 in the morning? But yeah, they're just looking out for each other. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed our story. God bless.